try this again. We're doing this outside mid-evening, and so we apologize for the noise you're going to hear in the background, but it is still the quietest room in our house. So
yeah, right now the most coolest. We got a nice quiet spot right now. So, hey, let's strike this iron while it's hot.
So this is a Patreon episode. If you're hearing this and you're not on Patreon, it's because we've released it to the general public. And this one is going to be, I think we're going to start a little mini-series within our podcast called Roadside Attractions. And this will be Roadside Attractions Part 1. And these are interesting, odd little roadside attractions that you can find in upstate New York. So,
yes, indeed. The little tidbits that you drive by, I always say that next time I go by, I'll check it out. You know, we'll drive by, check it out, and relate.
Yeah, don't do that, folks, because for years, didn't live that far from that one amusement park up near Lake George.
Oh, yeah.
Could have made a nice day trip of it and gone and seen all the huge muffler men in there. Oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't wait.
As of this year. Don't wait. Welcome to Unearthly Upstate. I'm Mari.
I'm Matthew.
And today's episode, which will be Roadside Attraction Part 1, a.k.a. Spook Hill and Other Oddities. There are a lot of places in my lead file. Some of them do not have enough information to do a full episode on. And some do not fit the premise of the program. Either there's no paranormal or the supernatural associated with them is all it has, or none at all. So for these places, every so often we're going to combine them into one show. These might be mostly roadside attractions, odd exhibits, or just cool little pieces of Americana. The first one today, Spook Hill. From Middlesex, New York, you take 364 West. Turn left at South Vine Valley Road and head towards Canandaigua Lake. Turn left on Newell Road. About half a mile should reach the top of a hill. Stop your car because there might be ghosts about. Make sure your car is pointed downhill. Place it in neutral. Your car will roll uphill.
Yeah, apparently.
It's suggested not to go alone, not because of the supernatural reasons, but because there might be hard for oncoming traffic to see you, so your partner can act as a lookout.
Yeah.
Now, there are different explanations for this occurrence. There's supposedly a Native American burial ground nearby.
Oh, there always is.
And the ghosts will push your car. Or perhaps it's the magnetic field of the earth is extra strong here and pulls your car. But that doesn't explain the water that also runs uphill. What would be your explanations?
It's an optical illusion.
Oh, blew it. I was hoping to go into a deep discussion.
Okay, all right. Why would Native American spirits push your car with all they've probably got to do throughout the day?
Yeah, true. And also, you know my opinion about any place that says, oh, it's because we were haunted because we used a Native American burial grounds or a building site. 99% of those is BS. The only time I will pay attention to anyone who says that, it is a Native American who is saying that to me. We're going to have a few eventually where these stories are out of the Native Americans.
And aren't these burial grounds dotted all over the landscape and whatnot?
Yeah, but I mean, what I was saying, it's a typical thing where, oh, why is this place haunted? Oh, it's buried on a Native American burial ground. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, well, what proof?
Yeah, what proof? And after a certain year, if you did build on a Native American burial ground, you broke the law.
Yeah, pretty much.
Though it still goes on, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what's actually going on is at Spook Hill, you're experiencing what's called a gravity hill, a mystery hill, a gravity road, or a mystery spot.
Yeah.
It is, like you said, an optical illusion, where the layout of the land makes it appear as if you're going downhill. But usually the horizon is obscured. Sometimes it's the vegetation surrounding the road will be also slanted to help with the illusion. Cyclists run into a similar thing called a false flat, where it appears a section of the road is flat but is actually going uphill.
I hate those.
Yeah, so you know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Okay.
Rhode Island was full of these false flats.
Oh.
And, it was a bitch to ride through that state anyway. Barely any place to put your bike. Yeah. And false flats. Yeah. I think that's the worst kind of optical illusion. Got kind of a mirage there, you know. Mm-hmm. You think you've got an easy stretch coming up, but no, it's still work.
But it's the Native Americans are pushing you, right?
No.
Right there, yeah. Till it blows that theory, but okay. But there is another Spook Hill in New York with the same properties. This one's a hill on Promiseland Road in Portville, New York. So we actually have two. It's kind of neat.
Aren't we lucky?
Yes. Now, we're recording this end of July, but it's still a patriotic month, right? Mm-hmm. So we got to talk about
the siege of Fort Stanwix is about to begin.
Oh, yeah. Now we have to talk about something from one of the most patriotic. He symbolizes America. Yes.
Oh, Uncle Sam.
We're going to talk about Uncle Sam, yes. Now, people collect odd things from celebrities. Locks of hair, blood, cast of parts of the body.
Poop.
Pieces of their clothes. Poo, yep. And sometimes the object is an odd resemblance of the person. But in the case of our next item, it was found while excavating under the house of Samuel Wilson, otherwise known as Uncle Sam. Proudly displayed in the Rensselaer County Historical Society is the chamber pot of Uncle Sam.
Just the legacy he wanted to leave America. A pot to piss in.
A pot to piss in. The ceramic pot is illustrated with a strange design, which could be a worm or a reminder of what this pot is to be used for. It's an amazing shape, considering it was made in 1820 and had buried under the spot where Samuel Wilson's home once stood. But you may ask, why is he Uncle Sam?
Well, now, it's through a little bit of the tidbits of research that I've gone through about Uncle Sam, he's not the only figure that was used to personify America's patriotism.
That's true.
There were other figures that were either came before, but not many that came after.
But it's interesting that this particular man gets tied up to the personification of it. So, yes, let's go into a few descriptions. Yeah, those are insects. Sorry. Like I said, cicadas. We have to record this outside. I really apologize, but this is the quietest room we have. So.
Have you ever seen a cicada? They're bizarre.
I hear they're loud enough. Uncle Sam is a personification of the American government or the United States. Legend has it that during the War of 1812, Samuel Wilson from Troy, New York, was a meat packer, and the meat was sent to his troops marked with U.S. on the side. And it was said it was a joke that the food came from Uncle Sam. But yet, Uncle Sam was mentioned in one verse of the Yankee Doodle.
Yes.
Okay, I will not sing.
You can recite. You may recite.
Yes. Old Uncle Sam came there to change some pancakes and some onions for lasses cakes to carry home to give his wife and young ones.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But there are other personifications of the United States, like you mentioned. There is Columbia, a young woman often pictured with another one named Lady Liberty. And in the American Revolutionary War, there was a character called Brother Jonathan, who in Uncle Sam appeared around 1812. Columbia would appear with Brother Jonathan and Uncle Sam, but her popularity waned, replaced by Lady Liberty. And then she became the symbol of Columbia movie, the Columbia Studios.
Films.
Columbia Films, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. An article in the Lutheran Witness in 1893 said that Uncle Sam and Brother Jonathan were actually the same personification. But Uncle Sam was the political side and Brother Jonathan was the everyman. But during the Civil War, Brother Jonathan seemed forgotten about. Uncle Sam did not get a standard appearance until the well-known recruitment image of Uncle Sam that was first recreated by James Montgomery Flagg during World War I. And you know which one that is.
Yes.
I want you, you know.
Yes. After the English.
After the English one, yeah.
Poster.
Yep.
An advertisement for enlistment.
There were other people that claimed to be the inspiration for Uncle Sam, but in 1989, Uncle Sam's Day became official, and a congressional joint resolution designated September 13th, 1989 as Uncle Sam Day, the birthday of Samuel Wilson. And what do we have to show for that? Or what's left of his legacy? His chamber pot.
His chamber pot, oh yes.
If you do want to actually visit the man, he is buried in Troy, New York, in the Oakwood Cemetery, which would probably be more dignified than seeing his chamber pot. And we have more patriotism coming.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We're going to head off to the other side of the state now. And I love this one. This is so good. This has got to be a place we've got to visit with a video camera because it just, to me, embodies what if one person has got the wherewithal, because he's got the wherewithal, and he's got the drive, you can do whatever you want, including make your own park.
Oh, yes.
People like to leave their mark in different ways. Restaurant owner Russell J. Salvatore decided that the road that his steakhouse and hotel is on didn't need another shopping center, so instead he turned it into a park. The Patriots and Heroes Park in Williamsville, New York. The park sits across the street from Russell's Steaks, Chops, and more, and it's not hard to miss. As you come down the street, it's a welcome change from the shopping centers and strip malls. The park has a miniature Golden Gate Bridge, a Statue of Liberty, an Empire State Building, and Niagara Falls. There's a statue of Archangel Michael, patron saint of law enforcement and military, a Purple Heart monument, a replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, a tribute to the Battle of the Bulge, a memorial to the Flight 3407, a reproduction of the flag raising on the ruins of the World Trade Center, and in this year, in 2019, there will be a new memorial from 9/11. It will be unveiled at the park, and it was made using steel from the World Trade Center as well. So this is very interesting. This guy basically took a look out at the road. He's got his hotel and he's got his restaurant. It's like there's this vacant lot there, and before they can stick another Starbucks or another Subway onto it or whatever, he snatches it up and turns it into this park. And
all we need is another Dunky Dunk.
Exactly.
So this guy, makes a park.
He makes a park, and he makes it a very interesting park to go visit. And I can't say it. I would say it's one step above a folk art project because his
no mini golf?
His his monuments are like the 9/11 one they're putting in. So they're professionally made.
Okay.
Yet it has that same feel of a folk art display, where it's one person and their passion put it together.
Right.
He just made sure everything was very professional looking. So to finish us off, somebody once asked Salvador what would he like for his memorial, and he said, well, he's been given permission to be buried at his park.
Nice.
So, yeah. And I do want to see this. I think it really embodies what I love watching, like Jacob the Carpetbagger and Adam the Woo, especially when Adam's traveling.
Name dropping.
But hey, these guys were influences, so why not? Their travels across the country, and some of the more interesting things, like when they just stop at the side of the road and they find these strange little monuments and stuff that people have done themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Salvador had a little more financial backing than most people, but he still had that same passion, and it shows.
Right.
And makes a welcome change from driving down that strip and just seeing, Dollar Tree and all the retail.
All the big box stores and all the retail chains and franchise restaurants.
Right. And then right smack in the middle is this.
It's also generic.
Is this wonderful park filled with these monuments.
And in the middle of it all is this wonderful little oddity.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful. I really do. And I think there are so many places like that. There's, what's it called? The something of the prophet Elijah? I can't remember. It's got this weird biblical title. It's in Niagara Falls. But one man, how he decorated his house. And he just spent years decorating his house, and it's very colorful, and it's very biblical themed, and it's that same type of thing. But unfortunately, the other guy I can think of, for example, he just passed away 2 days ago. In fact, from the time we recorded this, his hobby became a very interesting museum. He painted toilet seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just passed away.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, but he was like 95, 96 years
exactly,
old.
yes.
But that was his hobby, just painting these toilet seats, and he hung them up in his garage, and people would come to see him, It gives me that type of feel, which is kind of cool. And that's the best part of taking, trips off the beaten path, is finding these things like that. And there you go. Gave you one to look for. Okay.
There you go.
I got another one for you. And this one, it's not too far off the beaten path. I mean, there's a State Patrol headquarters right next to it. So. You're going to go to Waterloo. So we're going to go back to the center of the state. So in Waterloo, New York, just down from the state police station, there's a tree.
Oh, yes.
The flags and the plaque might be the first thing that catches your eye, because the scythes have grown almost into the tree. This is the infamous scythe tree. On the plaque that states, in 1861, James Windman Johnson came from the fields one morning, hung his scythe in the crock of a small cottonwood tree, and said, "Leave the scythe there until I return." Then Johnson went off to fight for the Union in the Civil War. At the time, the tree was about 8 inches in diameter and only a few feet tall. It is now over 100 feet tall. And this is a true story, actually. Okay, it sounds like a folk song, doesn't it?
It does sound like a folk song.
It's a true story. On October 1861, Johnson enlisted in Company G, 85th of New York Volunteers. His military career was not glorious. He was taken to Newbern, North Carolina, and thrown into one of the war prisons. Later, he was released, and he went back to battle yet again. On April 20th, 1864, but now Sergeant Johnson was wounded in the upper thigh at Plymouth, North Carolina, by a blast from a small carbine. Thinking he was going to die, he gave his enlistment money to his friend, Lieutenant Edwin Pearson, but Pearson was captured and sent to Andersonville. On May 1864, Johnson was treated by Confederate surgeons, and then the wounded prisoners were moved out to make room for Confederate troops. Johnson was taken to the Confederate hospital at Raleigh, North Carolina. He died there on May 22nd, 1864, from his wounds, and was buried in an unknown grave. Hearing the news of the death of his son, the parents refused to believe it. They prayed that he would return, and they kept hope alive until their own deaths. So that was scythe number 1. And
That's how the first scythe was
That's how the
placed
first
in
one
the
got
tree.
there, yeah. Adding to the growing fame of the scythe tree were the actions of the Schaefer brothers during World War I. The farm was now owned by Mr. C.L. Schaefer, and his sons Raymond and Lynn both served in the United States forces during the war. Each ceremoniously hung a scythe in the tree, and the Carpenters Union, local number 187 of Geneva, New York, which Raymond was a member, kept an American flag flown over his scythe. Lynn was a member of the Young Man's Bible class of the First Presbyterian Church of Waterloo, and that group also kept an American flag over his scythe. The 2 Schaefer boys safely returned home from war, and they removed the handles of their scythes upon return. Then the blades were left when the flag's taken down. Now, to honor this tree, the Waterloo Rotary Club placed a granite marker in the tree outlining its history, and today only the tips of the blades can be seen. And in July 1990, the scythe tree was named one of the 11 trees to be of extraordinary historical significance by the State Department of Environmental Conservation. The scythe tree is also listed on the National Arbor Day Foundation as one of the majestic trees of America. I love it. That's got so many folktale elements to it. And there it is.
It does.
And that's another one, too. I mean, we could swing by one of these days. I mean, we've been down that area close enough, and one of these days we'll just swing by it and see it.
Yeah.
It's still on the farm. There's a little place you can pull off and see the scythe tree. And
how many times has this property changed hands since the first scythe was hung?
At least 2. I mean, the Johnsons and Schaefers, they could be related. I don't know.
Could be.
I didn't look up the
I was just
property.
wondering if the present owners, the present property owners are maintaining the tree.
Last Google map image they were.
Okay.
There's a little pull off there. You can see.
Because you know how people are.
Yeah, but I think, if you're buying a piece of property with something like that and you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to wreck it. Oh, get rid of it. I think the neighborhood would speak up. Especially after the tree's been pretty much protected by the DNC and the Arbor Day Foundation. It's not going to be easy to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And, you got the state patrol right down the street. Literally, right down the street. So you couldn't really do anything nefarious because a cop could be out having a smoke break and see you doing it, So, yeah, I think that one's well protected.
Yeah.
But, you go by trees like this a lot. Like, there's trees with bicycles in them. There are trees with, well, of course you get shoe trees started.
That asinine practice of tying shoes together and then flinging them over a power line.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that? I don't... And again, Rhode Island rears its ugly head again. In this episode.
I've seen them everywhere. They're all over.
Oh, but it was the first place I noticed it, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
First place in my whole entire life I ever noticed it here at the age of 36.
Yeah.
Lived my entire life, Went south, went west, went north, traveled out of the country. Then,
Mm-hmm. Well, we had a tree.
A bit more rural than the usual northwestern Wisconsin, and here I arrive in Rhode Island to discover power line shoes.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on here? Don't they know this is a fire hazard?
No.
Yeah.
Well, we had a tree kind of like this on the farm where somebody stuck some horseshoes in it. Forgot about it.
Oh, well, that horseshoes now, you see, there's a certain way that you mount the horseshoe over usually a portal or a threshold of some kind. And that's, you've got to put the horseshoe, not upside down, but,
you got to put it in a U.
Yes, yeah, you got to nail it up there in a U shape.
Yep.
So that the shoe catches the luck.
Exactly. But no, in case of our farm, it was just somebody stuck it up there. Probably done shoeing horses. These were the old shoes and just stuck them up in this tree. Everybody kind of forgot about it. And then after the years, you could see where the tree grew over. It was kind of cool. Well, I wouldn't cut it with a chainsaw, though.
You probably hit one of those shoes.
A tree, yeah.
There goes your Husqvarna.
Yeah.
Or your Still, or your
but
Johnsrud.
But, it's so easy to make one of these trees. And then you get shoe trees, where people throw their shoes on a tree.
Yeah.
But then the entire tree gets covered with shoes. That's kind of interesting, too.
And the dolls. Ugh, God, that's creepy.
The dolls are just, downright creepy, yeah. But, it's easy to make, have these trees get something in them. And trees are always good for memorials, too.
Yeah, because they're enduring.
Yeah.
And so long as nobody cuts them down, they'll continue to grow.
Yeah.
So long as they remain healthy.
We say that as we're looking at our trees. We got that horrible trimming job last year, but had to get it down over the power lines.
Absolutely, yeah. They're still shaking. The trees are still shaking out the brush that the pruners left behind, and I can see a few other places. I'm looking at them right now where they need to trim, and there's that interesting crook in that one branch. It's a trunk, actually. Yeah. A trunk that comes out from the side in a kind of a U shape, like 4 feet above the ground.
It almost looks like those trees that are, they go up normally, and then they go out perpendicular, and then there's like a kink or something, and they go back up to grow normally. And you see those once in a while in the woods. Mm-hmm. When we went to Chimney Bluffs, there's one there. And for years, a lot of people didn't know what they were. Well, they're road markers. Yeah,
ways to make to mark a trail.
And a lot of them have been cut down and that, but if you you can still find them.
This might be a trail tree out here.
It could be a trail. It could be an attempt to make a trail tree. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because, that is kind of odd the way it's so away from the rest of the tree and, goes back up. So that's what that shape always reminds me of.
That tree is at least a couple 100 years old.
Yeah. So it could have been a trail tree or attempt to make a trail tree. So there was 4 interesting roadside attractions.
Yes, for your enjoyment.
Hopefully one of these years we'll have enough money
to for your approval.
Get some nice video equipment and go out and actually videotape these things. But there's plenty in New York. I mean, just off the top of my head, there's a really cool one in Oneida, right off the side of the road. Mm-hmm. You blink and you miss it.
Yep.
In the middle of that pond, the smallest church.
You can arrange to row out there and have a wedding.
Yep. It's big enough for 3 people standing. That's it. Yep. And right there's one. And there used to be Lucky the Bull, not that far from there. But
well, what denomination is that?
I have no idea.
Is that under some kind of
It's probably non-denominational.
Probably non-denominational.
But like just down the road from there was Lucky the Bull, who's now in a safe location.
Oh yes.
Because those people tried to steal her. And the actual owner was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, right after. Yeah, to add to the property owner's woes. Yeah, right after the restaurant burnt down, about a year later, they tried to.
Some people tried to steal it. Yeah,
steal the steakhouse bowl.
Yep,
that was out in front of the property.
Huge bowl, and now Lucky is in a safe location somewhere.
In an undisclosed location.
In an undisclosed location too. Yeah, yes. That was an interesting day. So it was like somebody's trying to steal the bowl. But
hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, I remember when the place burned down. Everyone's first questions was, "Is Lucky okay?"
Question out of everybody's mouth. Not was
can they rebuild? Not was did anybody get injured? It was is Lucky okay? Yeah, but that's
not Lucky.
But those are the interesting little roadside things that are so much fun to see. Okay, I think that'll do it for today.
Thank you for listening to our ghastly Patreon podcast.
Not too ghastly.
Not too ghastly.
And we gave you 4 to plan on, then we talked about Lucky and the church. So we actually had 6.
Yeah, there you go. And trail trees.
And trail trees. And have a good night now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Unearthly Upstate. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and our webpage. We are also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, and CastBox. Please like, share, and review on your favorite platform. Unearthly Upstate is an Animator Liar production. The show is produced by Mari and Matt Manette, with purring provided by Honey and Lloyd. Research and writing by Mari Minette. Music is by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Unless otherwise stated in the episode, the places mentioned in the broadcast are not paid or contact us for any type of promotion. Please check out our webpage for credit and sources for the episode. Thank you.